Here we are, recording now.
Welcome, Internet, to Survivor Bus Episode 6. Yeah, screw that up. I'll try it again. Welcome, Internet, to the Survivor Bus Podcast, Episode 6. We are reviewing Season 23, also Episode 6. Know the title of the episode?
No, drawing a blank.
No one right?
Free agent.
Oh, God.
Free Agent.
Yes, okay.
And this is one of the first episodes in a little while where the name Free Agent wasn't said by Coach. I think the last 3 episodes it's been Coach has delivered the name of the episode in one of his talking heads.
That's true.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
So, yeah, this one's a great one. Yeah, he's done a lot of them. He's got demons. I have to look it up, but he said it a couple times. The name of the episode. Anyways, really good episode.
We'll after stuff Coach said this year.
That's what it seemed like the first couple was. Yeah, it's always somebody always says it. It's never just somebody says the words in the episode. I always try and make a note of when that happens and who does it. But yeah, this one's seems to be all centered around Ozzy, the lazy lion, or I can't remember what was really good. Oh, or yeah, obviously Brandon and Apollo. Always the.
Yeah.
I guess it really comes
that's
down
right.
to. Anyway, we'll get to it. We'll get. So beginning of the episode, let me pull up my notes because I did not have that on the screen. There we go. It's everyone coming back from tribal.
And
Oh,
Ozzy
I love
is
the-
pretty
I love-
pissed.
The scene. Oh. Okay, so who wants to start us off on Ozzy? I've got my opinions, but I'll let someone else.
The first thing I wrote down was Ozzy is pissed.
Yeah.
Right? And declares he's a free agent, okay? Which is ridiculous, I think, and he's acting like a scorned prima donna.
Yeah.
Like he's just, and almost asking to get sent to Redemption.
Yeah. Yeah, they literally comment like, well, if you want to go to Redemption, just let us know. Like,
Yeah,
we'll
we'll send
kick you
you.
out immediately. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know this line is said a little bit later from Jim, but it was the thought I had as it was happening. He's like, I'm a free agent. I'm like, for who? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a free agent. You're not in the middle. It's everyone against you now because you freaked out. So what do you mean you're a free agent? You're the next to go, not free agent.
Yeah, no one's playing for individual immunity right now.
No.
I had really similar to Mom, but I just wrote Ozzy's choked.
Yeah.
And then I described it as quote unquote free agent spaz out. And then the next note I had, so it's like just in the little aftermath there when they're still in the nighttime vision there, one point Dawn's like, give me a break, Ozzy. Like right? Like
yeah, you have secrets.
Let's be a little bit realistic here, right? Like you're like everyone's playing a game, like just dial it back, right? And he just didn't see it. And I like the little end bit when Keith shoots in there when he's like, yeah, man, if you want to go there, just let us know. Right? Like he was like, yeah, if you want something cried about, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go.
Like, it really was awesome. And I was just like, yeah.
I mean, so much for their brilliant plan of voting Dawn so as not to upset Ozzy.
Well, you knew that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked.
I mean, the other thing is, like, I don't know. Wouldn't you get a little jaded? Like, if you're out there on an island and you don't really have anyone to
confide in.
you don't have anyone that's going to give you honest, constructive criticism that's going to help you better yourself at that time in your life. It's
Sure.
going to be for a motive, right?
Yeah.
So, like, wouldn't the jaded people become like more jaded in the course of the isolation, I don't know.
That would be, I understand what you're saying,
Okay.
but seriously, when you're in this game,
Mhm.
you can't do that. You just can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't isolate.
Oh, no, I mean,
You can't.
they had little comments with Cochrane the last episode, right, where he's just like, and it's Cochrane, so, and he's, not at his best this year, but he's like, he's being little cabana boy with Elise and stuff, right? Like, and so, they're pointing at it. So obviously he got too hot, he made himself a target, and they were like, took him down a peg, and, this is the result.
Yeah. I think his reaction is fair in that, like, he just lost his entire alliance. I get that he's upset about that because it was a blindside. And they're like, I don't know why you're taking this so personally. It's like, you fully excluded him from the vote. I know you didn't vote him out, but I think he's fair when he's like, because you left me completely out of it. Like,
Totally.
that's why I'm taking it personally.
Yeah.
I, for the life of me, cannot understand why he told everyone he had an idol.
Oh my God.
That's just emotional response. He was just clearly upset and wasn't.
Okay, I gotta be honest. Why you can't understand that? Because I feel like our clan. That's like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like at least 2.5 out of 4 of us would absolutely respond how Ozzy responded. Just saying. We would both be like, and then it would be like, it's not
I
like,
the idol.
oh, yeah, I got the idol. What are you gonna do? Right?
Yeah. I don't need you. Yeah, that's fair. Fair.
True.
Oh my God. And I think that's the interesting thing about the game is the human element, and just like, because I think about that all the time when I see these stuff with you guys. I'm like, well, what would I do? What would Dave do? What would Mom do? Oh my God, what would we all do? We would all do this right now, or it's, oh man, like, yeah.
I might flip out like Ozzy in a situation like that, but I don't know if I'd tell them I have the idol. I don't. Getting mad.
I would have totally flipped and done exactly what Ozzy did, and it would have been wrong.
Well, I mean,
before
later on he addresses it.
I would have just done exactly what he did. Now I would like to think I would, like, anytime I made a major decision, I'd stop and be like, okay, wait, am I fucking
You have just like a visual thought process going on.
Like what would Jess, Dave, and Mom say, right? Like, what would, right? I don't know. Like, before you do anything, like, you never just rashly throw something out like that, right? I don't know.
Just gonna adjust
Not
my
in the game for $1 million, you don't.
Right?
And the Keith and what is it, Whitney?
Mm-hmm.
Keep getting her name wrong. They just don't address that they didn't, like, it just doesn't come up in conversation that they just threw their votes.
No. Ozzy like mentions like, oh, like having a blind side against him, and all Keith says is like, well, we can tear each other apart or we can just move forward strong. He's just like, I'm never addressing this. Like, he clearly has no interest in owning up to anything. He's just glad Ozzy's throwing a fit in that way. So
which is a really good point, because he was when it was going down, he's like, yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna come out of this looking good, man. This is gonna be bad. Like,
yeah.
You guys are putting me in a bad spot. So that's a good point. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, let's just move on, right? Like Ted Cruz and like January 6th. Let's just move on, guys.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, blew my mind.
Yep.
Anything else about the night meeting?
Just that Ozzy, I think, threw that fit and was ready to just go to Redemption and win. He says himself, he's like, you know what? If they vote me out, there's always redemption. So he's just feeling really confident and angry, and that's a terrible combination for anybody at any time.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't need you guys. I don't give a care. I got that. I can do it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That goes back to that lazy lion mentality. Like, he's believing his own hype to his own, like, detriment to his game. He thinks, I'll just go to Redemption, win five challenges in a row, come back at the merge, problem solved.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's the guy that could do it, though. Like,
I mean,
think about it though, for real. Like, from an Aussie perspective, like, he's fairly athletic. He's agile. He's like smart. He can fish. So, as a guy on his own with only one other person's drama to deal with, and you can fish and you can eat and you can fend for yourself, wouldn't that be a little bit more chill than having to worry about vote after vote and the drama and I gotta do right?
But that's not going to get you the million.
Fish for really? So you're saying nobody yet has ever come back from Redemption Island and won the game? Then that's what you're telling me. Or do we know that to be true or not? I don't know.
I don't ever recall.
I do not know.
I feel like if someone were going to go to Redemption Island, get back into the game and win, it would be a guy like Ozzy.
Look at the one we just watched where Lil was off the island for 10 days and they brought that up nonstop in the final.
Yeah. Well, and she was, in the final 3, right?
But she did not win.
Because that's the big argument. You have to scrutinize their games, right?
It's so horrible to be final 3. Like final 3 is still like you were a contender. Like you didn't win. Like not everyone's gonna win, but like she made a comeback. I don't know.
Actually, okay, wait. I think in that final tribal, whoever wins wins. Whoever doesn't win is I consider to be the biggest loser of the season because I think they got taken there and had nothing to do with their play.
At Gmail, mail's attention to our mom.
Anyone else catch a chill from all that shade?
I like it though. It's an opinion. So you're saying third place isn't second loser, it's worst.
Yes.
All right. Prove us wrong, internet.
There you go.
Or empathize. Like, tell us what you think. I don't know. Like, I get.
Love me, hate me.
Well,
I'm good.
Oh wait, Dave and I have had a lot of conversations about like what a goat is and if that person. Do you know what I mean? And just like, I have my own opinions about like, how much luck and how much skill is like what I think it takes to get to the end of the game from what I've seen. I don't know. I think I don't know. I'd be interested to see what people have to say about it. Like,
I would.
Is there like some kind of given accepted formula where people are like, well, widely accepted it's this, or is it very much like
it comes down to the jury?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen final 2s and 3s where people have gotten more respect for taking the best of the best to the end, and I've seen someone drag a goat all the way with them to the final and lose to the goat.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
It comes down to jury management. Does the jury respect your decision one way or the other, right? Like, for example, Russell lost both of his final tribals because he took losers with him, thinking, I played the best game. You're not going to vote for these guys, right? And they were like, no, we hate you that much, Russell. We're going to vote for you.
Yeah.
That's true.
And yet there's, but I don't know. It's different. It really depends on your jury.
So it's not just eliminating people. You have to win them over as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jury
Absolutely.
management is very huge. I was watching a video the other day talking about Survivor Kingmakers as a term, and so that's where a person has no chance of winning the game. So they're essentially like I'm trying to think of seasons you guys would have watched where this was, but there's examples of it all over the place where I can't win, but I get to decide who wins based on my decision. It's generally left up to the people picking for the final tribal, or no matter what I choose, I'm not winning. So I'm essentially just picking a winner between two other people based on it. Swing votes have that happen where you can, right after the merge, if you you flip on your tribe, you're screwing over the other people, but you don't look trustworthy either. So you're essentially just helping a winner, whoever that is.
Right.
And there's so much politics to this game. That's why
And jury management is why getting sent to redemption for the entirety of the game is so risky, because you aren't building those relationships, especially if you're Christine. Say Christine makes it to the end and this whole time she's been on redemption flipping everybody off. That's not good.
Christine's one person. But if Ozzy were to go to Redemption in the next week or two, episode or two, okay, he smooths over the spaz. He goes and he just fights it out, right? Like dun 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 dun, right? Eye of the tiger,
Mhm.
right? People are gonna be like, "Wow, man, awesome! You and all those, you deserve to be in the game." And he's gonna come back and like have a little bit of separation, not too much baggage, and probably show up and be able to roll into.
Wouldn't that be the dream?
If you were an athletic player, right? If you're like who are the two? Never mind. It's another season.
All right.
Okay. I like so right after this. That's like I don't know if we're moving ahead too far here, but I got like 4 minutes 31 seconds when someone makes a comment about like man up. I believe it's Jim. I don't know if it was Jim or Cochran, but I just had this note where, and I maintain this throughout the episode that I feel like Jim is a front runner so far.
Oh, I love Jim.
Just with where he's at, what he's noticing, I'm kind of starting to settle into Jim and be like, okay, and he's sort of aware of what's going on. I just my gut right now.
He is smart.
Okay. Jim's definitely not getting a purple edit, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's not getting a what?
Purple edit. So that's when the show edits you pretty much out of the show because you don't contribute too much.
You're unentertaining.
Why is it purple?
What season was it? I can't remember which. I want to say it was like 14 or 15, somewhere around there. One of the teens, where there was 2 Kellys on one tribe.
Right.
Purple Kelly.
And so they called one Kelly Purple Kelly because she had a purple streak in her hair. But what you noticed after watching the whole episode, I think it's one. It's
obviously we're not talking Wentworth and Wigglesworth.
No. She only gets like 3 talking heads throughout the whole season, and every time she gets a talking head, she's saying something not smart, and it's called a purple edit. And so there's there's some people like a good example of this season so far, Rick.
Right?
Yes.
Oh.
This is the first episode this is episode 6, and it's the first time Rick has had a talking head.
Here, wait.
Is that right?
No.
Yes.
No.
He talks in the meaty one.
No. He talked. He talks for the first time an episode or so ago, and I have a note because I was like, I stopped and I was like, such and such time in the episode, Drew realizes there's a guy named Rick in the show.
But when he talked, Drew, that was at Final Tribal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, wow.
It was.
The first episode where Rick is sitting there by himself talking to a camera crew discussing one of his strategic moves.
Yeah.
So
you're saying this is the first talking head this episode?
Yeah.
First talking head Rick has ever gotten.
Wow.
Jim has had like 1 an episode so far. Cochran's like almost at 2 an episode.
Yeah. Because he's so funny. So funny.
Jim's had a bit. I don't know. Well, now we're gonna have to keep talking heads tallies. Thanks.
I found a subreddit that actually talked about how many players get talking heads, and so they made
Is there somewhere on the interwebs right now I can look this up?
I can check it for you afterwards. I'll get it for you afterwards. It's a good listen. So are we at Ozzy talking with the damn scuba mask on? Because
Yeah.
I love it so much.
I don't get what's so funny about that part.
I'm a big part of this tribe. And he holds up like
there it is.
The 6-inch fish, like big part.
I'm the fisherman.
Yeah, with the snorkel, like so pointedly wearing that mask. It's so funny. I can't handle it. He's just so pissed off, and he's got the mask on. Yeah. He's talking all nasally. Like he's never take the mask off and do it, but he's got it on to be like, see, you know. It's like it's a lot. it's
totally-
the tantrum
I totally-
is still on.
I didn't get that at all. He was
My
completely lost.
note on that is like he thinks he's God's gift to the tribe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And buddy, you're not. You're a spoiled little brat.
Yeah, because the rest of the tribe is like back at camp being like, geez, like, is he still moping over there? Like,
I know.
Oh yeah, I'll get to that. But my note was, why keep the mask on for the interview? This is exactly the attitude Cochran was telling us about in the previously on part of the
Yes.
very beginning of the show.
that's what I mean. He's doing it intentionally. Like it was he was making a point for sure. And then do you remember what Cochran says about him in this scene?
Oh,
Okay,
Jim talked first. I like Jim's comment.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of wondering though, like, is there not a measure of it where like the show chooses what clips to play, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
So you're saying he did an interview with the mask off, and they decided to put the interview with him having the mask on in the show instead? You know?
Maybe he just fuck.
I
I
think you
don't
like Ozzy, and when we
I
tear him apart, you wanted to vend it.
No, I just. Wow. All right. Sure.
It takes 5 seconds to take the mask off for an interview. I just don't understand keeping it on.
I know he fishes all the time. How do they not have other clips of him talking?
But I don't really. They don't have other clips of him talking. They follow him all day around with a camera, and that was the only clip they had. Really?
No.
You guys are a little bit.
Well, he was pretty mopey. You know, he could have been that way
Sure.
towards the crew. They could have been, following him, but he was like, get away from me. Who knows?
Yeah. Who
And
knows?
he wanted
I'm
to
just
do
saying.
the clip on his terms, not theirs.
I don't think anything happens in that show on his terms. It's Mr. Probst's show, and it goes the way that he wants. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you're telling me any of that happens on Ozzy's terms? That happens on the way they want it to look. Do you know?
No, yeah, for sure. But Ozzy still put the mask on and did the interview. No one made him do
I
that. That's all
think-
we're saying is that choice. His choice.
Okay.
The camera came up and he put it on and then started talking.
But he didn't take it off. That's all.
That's all it is.
That's
Yeah,
all it is. He just chose.
Because he wears that mask sometimes. Okay, I get what
So
you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew, you bring up a point. You almost make it sound like the show is scripted. And I
Well,
don't believe that it is.
No, it's
I
not
don't-
scripted, but
I think it is very much on the players' terms, not the shows. And I think that there's a huge camera crew that does follow everybody around. And I think some
Sure.
players sit down and they go, okay, come here, guys. I need to talk.
right. Okay, we just spoke about how Rick just kind of popped up in the show, and that we just saw his first talking head.
Right?
I only noticed him a couple episodes in. So you're telling me he had no talking heads before this episode? No, he's filmed others, and they just chose what to show you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Just editing.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Players can say what they want, but it's up to the show
Definitely.
to present it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. Maybe some other people put that drum mask on and tried to make it stick. And Ozzy and that person are laughing over. We're like, yeah, man, I tried the same thing, nothing. But I don't know. I just,
Maybe.
you know. But
So,
I didn't.
Jim,
When I saw it, it didn't look like to me like Ozzy was trying to. Like I know his other I'm free agent and like whatever. But like it just seemed to me like he was fishing, and they were like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Yeah, like I'm." Like, look, man, I got my hands full. I do shit. I don't know. It didn't seem like victim to me.
I would take
The
the mask
comedy
off.
was completely lost on me.
Oh, rewatch it again with what we're saying and see.
I also work with my hands. Like I'm a tradesperson. I wouldn't take the mask off. I wouldn't take the tools in my hands. I would
Okay.
like, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, fair enough. Moving on. We were talking about this mask way too much.
Yeah.
I like that Jim says Ozzy is throwing a hissy fit and huffing and puffing. That was my favorite line.
Yeah.
I like the huffing and puffing. I was like, that's accurate because you just see him way off in the distance on a rock. Just
I know. And then Cochran's talking head, and he says, in all seriousness, he's just behaving like a stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I did not expect that to come from Cochrane at all. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and Cochrane's got a great point. He's like, it's great for me. No sweat
Yeah.
off my back. He
Yeah,
wants
absolutely.
a crybaby. Awesome. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they go to Apollo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And this is when.
I have a great line for this. Are we talking about this is Coach and Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon.
I have written down Coach thinks Brandon is totally sus, as the kids would say.
Totally sus. Yeah.
I'm with it.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, Coach does not scream to me like a metalhead. He just
Mm.
not the impression that I get.
So Brandon starts looking for the clue and immediately finds it. And he's so excited.
And
And
everyone,
immediately goes and tells Coach and Albert,
Yeah. Who just are like, way to go, little buddy.
way to go.
You
Oh,
go
you look so
do
much
some
like
looking.
your uncle.
Yeah.
It's just like watching Russell.
but
Yeah.
it was.
And yeah.
Did you guys see the way he was walking? It was exactly like it.
Yeah.
They actually compared at one point. They showed
Yeah.
a clip of Russell walking and a clip of Brandon, and they identical.
Drew, you have something to say?
Yeah.
Are you just not talking now? I'm gonna hold your notes up for the rest of the episode.
No, I just said the same shit.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Coach, after swearing to Brandon, they play the game like Christian men, is all, I'm really torn about this, lying to him about the idol, but, he's so much like his uncle. I have no choice. It's scary for me.
Yeah,
Well,
because he literally lies to Brandon. Because
yeah.
Brandon at one point goes, "Gee, do you think somebody found the idol?" And
Mhm.
Coach is like, "Oh no." And immediately after that, he says, "I want to play the game honorably."
Yeah. But he's not.
Well, obviously not.
Yeah.
Like,
It wouldn't
why
bother
are
me
you saying
because,
that if you just lied?
yeah, lie. Do that in the game. I think that's appropriate. Don't tell him
Totally.
you already have it. But then don't go to the camera and be like, I'm a
Oh.
good man. I'm an honorable man.
No, you're not.
I just don't like that guy. It's not fair.
No.
I actually kind of felt sorry for Brandon,
I know.
searching like crazy for the idol, and Coach is on the ground with it in his pocket kind of thing. I'm
It's
like,
just
oh,
because-
for God's sakes, just tell him.
Just because they took all the most desperate clips of Brandon searching. So he's just like
Brandon's
scrambling
not a good
around.
guy. Oh my god.
No, he's not a good guy.
No,
Just
it's
the way
just-
they edited that.
This is getting painful. I like everything. I'm like the opposite on everything this episode.
That's okay.
I'm like,
Hey,
That's what
we-
makes it interesting.
I'd be curious who agrees with who
I
on
just-
some of these.
you guys like
I said I almost feel bad for him. Just the way that
I
they
don't-
edited that one section.
no, yeah, I get you. I get
Okay.
you. He's not a good person.
No, he's the
No.
worst.
Wasn't gonna stop until he turned over
It's
every
like
rock.
a couple people ago, you guys like, oh my god, he's putting on so thick. It's funny, and I'm like, no, that person was being genuine, and you guys are like, this is comical, and I'm like, you guys are like, I almost feel bad for Brandon. I'm like, that's the comical part. That's the jerk getting the just desserts. I don't understand how Coach stifled the laugh.
Because he was legit scared. He was getting reminded of Russell, and he said he was like frightened. He was like, "Oh god," which I thought was funny.
He didn't.
Yeah,
actually
me too.
He didn't actually look that scared. Do you know what I mean? Like, give him a little food.
They were making fun of his walk and laughing about it pretty hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
They were.
I watched it.
So then we go to the Redemption Duel.
Yes.
Yeah, so we got Rick and Sophie from Upolu watching, and we have Ozzy and Keith from Savai watching.
Yeah,
And we have Christine doing the
Oh,
scratching her nose thing.
Well, she breaks down a little before that. She shows
Oh, she
some
does.
emotion. She gets a little like, I've been on this island alone, and I'm feeling it kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then, they do the
want her to come
shuffleboard.
back.
I know. I want to
come
see
back.
it.
I want her to come back, and I want her to come back angry, and I want her to mess some stuff up.
Yeah, she's going to stir the pot. I really hope that's what I'm waiting for, is for her to get back into the game and just be a little shit disturber.
And they're
We need
worried.
it.
They're worried.
And they
Mhm.
should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elise didn't stand a chance. Honestly,
No.
there was no way. Like, one of the
No.
first things she did was shoot her own puck off the board. Like, she was not ready.
This is another one of those challenges that I was like, really? We're gonna do shuffleboard to decide your fate in the game? Okay.
Really, I liked it. I don't know. I liked it better than just I don't know. At least it was different.
I think it's a challenge I could win.
Yeah, they made it accessible, I think, for everybody.
I feel like they kind of have to be, right? Like if you just made it like specifically like an intellectual puzzle or an endurance based puzzle or like a raw speed or a raw strength, based puzzle, it has to be no?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to
Yep.
split it up.
The other pattern I've noticed with a lot of the arena, like the Redemption Island battles, is they're designed to be over fast.
Yeah.
Like
Right, sure, yeah.
they're really
I
like
do actually.
everyone's only going to be here for like an hour. We got to get the rest of the show on the road. We got Tribal Council tomorrow night or something like that. So
Yeah, there's none
the
of those
challenges
endurance
aren't
ones.
like long. Yeah.
Sorry, you cut out there, Dave. Say that last part again. I heard Jess agree, but I didn't hear.
Oh, it's just. Well, it's just there's no more holding onto a pole for 15 hours kinds of a challenge or balancing, and it's all very much easy. Get it over with. Someone wins, someone loses.
Sure.
Yeah.
The one complaint I've always had, and I'm sorry, but like, and Jeff makes a comment to this. He's like, "Yeah, there's a little bit of a learning curve." I really hate this. Why don't they let everyone get a couple test fire shots? Do you know what I mean? Like season 7, they're breaking the plates on that weird, janky thing and hitting, or the the awesome one with the cannon fire and like whatever. Like, let them get a few runs with the, shuffleboard to see who's the better player. Because it seems like, and here's the thing, it takes skill to win, but some of these challenges are literally whoever throws a really good first shot gets much better intel on their second, shuffleboard piece, right? And it's just like, it's not necessarily based in skill. It's based in who has the luckiest first shot and how it just kind of like let everyone take a practice swing first, right? And I feel like they do that sometimes with challenges. And for me, they come out kind of short and then take a while to pick up. It's just, and it doesn't seem like a real competition for me.
They don't necessarily, it doesn't happen as quick as the show edits. Jeff doesn't just say, here, I'll let everyone draw for teams and we'll get started. And they're like, okay. And then they say go 5 minutes later. Jeff actually says, does anyone have any questions? He really does explain the rules. It's really when everyone walks in and Jeff starts talking and when they start the challenge, that's maybe half an hour to an hour right there.
Yeah, they just don't show it.
Yeah, they just don't show it. So from what I've read and seen videos on, contestants do get the option to ask questions. It's just some of them don't. Some of them think they've got it. They're like, yeah, I'll figure it out. Not a problem. Shuffleboard, whatever. And then they throw one and it goes right off and they're like, okay, hold on. maybe I should have inspected this a little further. They do get, and they don't just throw someone into the deep end knowing what's going on.
Well, they don't always do that. They do that.
I understand what you're saying. I still consistently get a feeling where sometimes they just come out. It's how I feel. I understand what you're saying. It doesn't change how it comes at me. Like he makes a comment about it. He's like, well, but this isn't the only challenge it's happened with.
Oh yeah, that's a Jeffism. It's a huge learning curve. He says it a lot.
So Christine wins that duel and scares her old tribe mates.
Oh yeah.
I like how Rick is surprised. He's like, "Did you see that? Did you see it?" She's like, "Yeah." Everybody saw.
she's gonna come back with fire in her eyes, is what I've got written
I
down.
know.
She's gonna come back ready to kill us.
And
Yeah,
then
'cause-
Quote unquote from Rick.
Yeah.
she says she's just so negative, and I'm like, so I mean, here's the thing, and somebody made a comment about it earlier, and it kind of sounded like it was oh, she's being sort of teary about, you know, being stuck on Redemption Island. I'd be pissed. I'd be, you know, you'd be isolated, alone. You know, I was saying, like, you know, earlier, it might be a good time for a guy like Ozzy, but, you know, for most people, I don't think that's your ideal spot, and you're stuck there, and you're just thinking about getting back. Like, you know, she's like, oh, she's so negative. Like, well, yeah, I would be negative. Like, if that were me, I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna come out and win this game. Like, what else is driving you at that point, right? Like,
Yeah. I guess that, yeah,
For
I would
sure.
definitely feel that anger, but in those duels, that's your only contact with who you could be getting back in the game with. I would
True.
definitely play
True.
it way sweeter in the moment and then
True.
rage alone on the beach, you know? Have
yeah,
like a full on
no.
Kevin Bacon dance party on my own to let it out.
Okay, that's true. She's not necessarily playing it smart with what she's doing right now, but
Yeah, it makes sense that she's that way. And then she's having all these people, you think about it, she's on this beach and everyone coming to her is fueling her. They're all angry too. So she just gets, all she gets is negative people coming in, and she's just like, oh yeah, they're bad. They're bad.
It's like some kind of like crazy MMA fighter, like psyching themselves up, like,
yeah,
let's do this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then, like, yeah, how do you marry getting through that hardship and then reintegrate into society?
Yeah.
Which is probably like what they meant. Is it kind of like you know, that's going to take more than just physical prowess. You're going to have the physical prowess and then be actually able to have the social skills to, and then still have the jury vote for you.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
It is.
Yeah.
Comment on a quick Sophie talking head once everyone gets back to camp.
Yeah.
And she's complaining about how, yeah, we're not going to get Christine's vote if she comes back. And I made a note of, like, yeah, obviously. Like,
yeah, duh.
Thanks, Sophie. Great
Are you
talk.
just realizing that? Yeah.
Yeah, we needed you on that one. Thank you.
Yeah, so back at camp after the Redemption Duels, when Coach and Edna, they're like coconut hunting, and she's still trying to get under his wing, and she's just shamelessly telling him she's like devoted. It's almost creepy. Like, it's very cult vibey. Yeah.
It works.
I like it when he.
Oh, Edna?
He says, Coach says, are you ready to follow me into battle? And she says, yes, even if it gets ugly.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
the two of them scare me.
Of course Edna has to say that. That's like, Edna is smarter than she lets on. She knows that's what Coach was thinking in his head, but he didn't finish his whole sentence. So you're gonna follow me into battle? And she was like, I bet the next question he asks is gonna be this. So I'm gonna answer this. Like, Coach isn't a hard man to figure out.
Well, that's the thing is I think she's playing a smart game, but I think she's making a mistake. I don't think Coach is going to be as loyal to her as she is to him. I think he thinks he's got a one-up on her, and she's just, you know, so happy to follow him around and do whatever. I don't think he realizes it's as strategic as it is for her.
She is just trying to get to the merge.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
I
a
have
play.
some opinions about this.
Yeah.
The notes I made, I like how she carries herself. To me, she seems like a tiny bit dorky, but not dorky, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I remote that she reminds me of Amy from Big Bang Theory a little bit. Like, because I can tell that she's very smart. She seems like proper and classy. You know, you can tell that, like, she's an attractive person, but she doesn't, like, I I don't know if that makes sense. That might come across as controversial, but and the thing that I notice the most about her is she seems aware of what's going on. She's aware of like the other players in the game, and she's like, okay, here's where I see myself, and here's kind of like, oh, you can't see that. Here's where I want to go. Like she's like, I don't know. Like I think she's on it. She's not super flashy. Like she's kind of, I don't know. Anyways, if
I don't think she's.
you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just don't think she's diversifying enough. She's really just focusing on building one relationship right now.
Yeah, that was my note. Like, so she's smart, but she can't just rely on coach. She's got to do better. She's got to branch out a little, cover some more bases with this technique. I think she could do well. She's just
So
it's a confidence thing.
I don't think she has a plan B. I think she's just focusing so hard on plan A. There's no plan B or C in her head.
Yeah.
Or they've edited it out.
I mean, she seems like a focused kind of a person. She seems like the personality type when she's like, okay, here's what I'm going for. Here's my best plan. And I'm going to follow that until it doesn't look like it. And then I'm going to.
Right.
I don't think she's a hedge or bets person. I think she's like a go for the throat person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I know, as I was after these notes, so my personal, and not in any particular order, but my top 5 to win this season right now, as this time in the episode, is Jim, Keith, Christine, Coach, or Edna. And that's not an actual, because I was thinking about Edna and I was just like, oh, I have no idea who wins, even though we're rewatching. I know some of you may or may not know, but
don't remember.
So 2 picks from either tribe plus Christine. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Ozzy's hurt himself too much societally lately.
Yeah.
Edna and Coach are kind of like, they're going at it hard, but they're not drawing too much hate right now, right? Christine just seems like such a fighter, and I want her to come back as an underdog. And Jim and Keith. Jim is really smart, and I feel like Keith is kind of like there and maybe riding his coattails a little bit and could sort of like draft him and come out and emerge. It's like a late game Aussie without the free agent drama. I don't know. Just guesses. I mean, how do you know, really?
You don't.
So then we go back to the Savai tribe for Ozzy's apology tour. Very similar to Brandon do back in like episode 2.
Yeah, I just love it how he's talking to Keith and he's like, yeah, probably shouldn't have told everyone about the idol, hey? That was stupid. And it's like,
and he's
yes.
like,
yeah.
Not a good play.
Yeah, realizes he cannot do it on his own, decides he shouldn't be a free agent, runs around, starts apologizing to people,
Which is his only play.
Well, it is, but Jim sees through it immediately, right? Immediately, he's like, oh. Anyway, I don't know, Ozzy. Wow.
Well, this is the line I mentioned from Jim earlier on in the episode, where Jim's like, he said free agent. For who? What are you, like, who is the free agent for? And Jim realizes, I wrote this down because he knows, does anyone remember why he says he wants to keep Ozzy around?
No.
He's great at challenges pre-merge, so he helps you, go into the merge with numbers, and he's a huge target post-merge.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
No one's looking at Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or anybody else on the tribe for that matter. So why not keep him around? Then you just have to hope he doesn't just win every individual immunity challenge once the merge hits. That's going to be a huge target on his back. So just let him keep bringing you fish and winning challenges for you. And when you get to the merge, giant target right there.
How many players have there been that have won like every elimination challenge post merge? It must be a short list. Never happened.
No one's
ever gone on a winning streak from merge all the way to the end.
Has anyone won all of them but one?
No, I think there's been best case scenario maybe 4 in a row. maybe.
Okay. So there's been people that have gone on a tear. Now, out of those people that went on a tear, anyways, I'm wondering how many of those people,
Well,
or
the
were
other
people
season,
just waiting to like,
Dara went on a tear. She won
Right.
3 in a row.
Did not win.
yeah. Well, I'm just thinking, if you go on a tear with the physical challenges and you win 3 or 4 in a row, are people then not gunning for you? Like, oh my God, I have to get you out now, because if I let you get to another challenge, I might not get another chance.
Yeah, absolutely. That happens all the time. There's people who will like dial back in those challenges towards
Yeah.
the end if they feel they're comfortable enough, if they're not desperate. There's
Yeah.
been survivors who will not win on purpose so as not to put that target on their back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. The people that are just like, this is a like an endurance challenge. I'm just jumping off this pyramid floating in the ocean right now. Why am I going to waste my energy? I don't want to win.
Yeah. I can only think of maybe 3 or 4 survivors that have really went on a streak and made it to final tribal because they like had to. Like if you lose,
It almost has to be like the end of a marathon, right? Where you like turn it on for the last mile and you're like,
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
Boston Rob said once, it all comes down to winning that last challenge and
Yeah,
deciding.
that's it.
Sitting beside, that's the challenge. The only one that matters is that final challenge where you're choosing
Yeah.
who you're sitting beside a final tribal. If you lose that one, the whole game is out of your control. The whole
Yeah.
all down the drain. You're just crossing your fingers. And I was like, yeah, he's not wrong. It's stressful.
He's not wrong.
well,
Um,
but yeah, I mean, it's true. Yeah. If you can, I mean, that's the best spot to be sitting in, right?
yeah.
So then-
So then we get to the challenge.
Yeah.
I love this challenge, by the way. 8 out of 10. Big fan.
Oh yeah.
I love they've done this in a couple challenge or a couple seasons where you build the wheelbarrow and you disassemble it, turn it into a slingshot. I always like this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Although Savai can't steer a wheelbarrow to save their lives,
No.
Ozzy and Don just could not get on that same page.
So, okay, let's talk about this for a second. Is it not the survivor curse that, like, or whatever, every time that happens in the beginning, hey Liam, every time that happens in the beginning when someone is defecating the bed, because we're live, they end up winning the challenge. That I almost hate that a little bit for survivor challenges where it's like there's a very physical part and there's a team that's in a clear lead and then it always like shifts and I'm like, really? Like, do you guys plan this stuff? Did you know? How does it all?
It doesn't always shift.
A lot of times.
Yeah, but
Okay.
in all fairness, did you see the way Michaela was shooting those coconuts?
Just with the one hand, like,
One hand.
and everybody was saying, 2 hands. Just try 2 hands, and she wouldn't. Like,
Yeah.
that was frustrating.
So
So-
she could do it one-handed? I don't get it.
I mean, she could pick up meat off the ground with no hands, right? Like a professional athlete. Like last episode, I was like, "Holy fuck! Do you see that?" Like Rick not going back for the meat, and she's a boom, and like, but yeah, totally. She defecated the bed with.
She's
Coach.
she's
asked
a
her number
football
time.
player.
Yes.
Yeah, football player. Yep.
Not a slingshot player, clearly. Like,
Clearly.
but like let someone sub out, and that's yeah.
She wouldn't. And
Yeah,
the coach was trying, but he was never actually saying like, "Go sit out, please," or
Get
"Hey,
out of my way.
You're not doing us any favors. You need to go." He just kept going like, "Yeah, maybe to switch. Maybe like using super." He didn't want to be an authority in the moment, you know.
Yeah, well,
I think he was trying to point out that she was doing a lousy job without actually getting himself in there in case he messed it up.
Well, he was doing it too, wasn't he?
I think he was
Well, he
trying
was.
to point out the fact that she was doing a messy job or her intentions weren't coming to fruition and to kind of get her to see that without being like, hey, you should switch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she's an athlete. She should know. And she was just like, no, I'm going to get it next time. Oh, I'm going to get it next time.
Yeah, I got this.
And she might have, but she went a little bit too many times, and he was kind of like, "Hey, are you sure?" Because I don't know, like she is an athletic person. She does right, like she does play sports. I don't know, like.
So did coach make the right move in not being super assertive here, or should he have like said no,
No,
go sit down, we don't need you?
no.
I
Oh,
think based
I
on
think
his reaction after,
I
he should
think
have.
expecting him to like police things, especially like with a younger woman, is just asking for it as a man. Like she should have stepped out.
Yeah, but then later on, the whole rest of the episode, he's trying to get her out because she wouldn't listen to his coaching. He
Yeah,
couldn't coach her.
that's exactly it. Because like he can't, because if he goes in and is like, no, you're messing it up, he's gonna look like the overbearing patriarch, which is like death. So her not giving, and she took all the shots, right? Like, and they didn't turn out well. So now you have to bear the responsibility that no, I'm good, no, I'm good, no, I'm good. Okay, you're good. Well,
Well,
there's no pudding here, so you're not good.
Yeah.
nobody else was really like. It seemed like Albert was saying a couple of things, but it didn't seem like everyone, like no one was ready to be like, yeah, it was all Michaela's fault.
No.
Coach was seemed to be the only one going. Are you guys seeing this? It's one arm. What are we? What is no one
Yeah.
else? Like,
Oh, so you feel like it was a bit of a campaign on his part to label her?
no. He didn't like it, so he was trying to very passively tell her to not. But
Yeah.
everyone else was also in the same boat, except they weren't even passively telling her. Everyone was just like, I don't want to say anything, and no one said anything except for Coach, and even he
Yeah.
did it half-heartedly. So it's just nobody wanted to be bossy or tell her not to
Yeah.
in that moment.
Yeah.
I was just kind of, everyone was kind of like, okay, you do it.
Here's the thing. It's Survivor. You're on a team. You're racing against the other team. You can hear Jeff talking if you're behind. You're assessing. Like once you're 1 point behind the other team, you keep firing. Like it's just it's a luck in the universe, and these other people that you sort of like love hate because you live with and you want $1 million, but you need them and you're sharing this experience, and give somebody else a try. Like throw it up to.
Well,
Right?
she was
Like, just
swapping out with Albert. Like he was also
Yeah.
taking
Sure.
shots. It wasn't just her, but she wouldn't stop. So she was wasting everyone's time by like Albert was doing better. He was getting closer.
right.
Yes.
Everyone took shots.
Yeah.
Everyone
but,
took shots.
But there's no like. Could they have not just let Albert take all the shots?
Or Albert and Coach do it.
Yeah.
Because like literally, like after Albert made a shot, I don't know if it's legal, but I would have like just like I can't remember where the pit for the coconuts, but it would have been like
I think there was only the three of them
Shots.
taking the shots. I might
And
be
I
wrong.
would
I'll have
just-
to go.
and I would
It was just the
cheerlead
three.
for him. Like, yeah, but there's no rules, right? Like if Albert just took all the shots and knocked the things down, they would have won, right?
Yeah, the people who pushed the wheelbarrow couldn't do the shooting.
Right.
Right.
So half your team built the wheelbarrow, and the other half waited for you to get there and shot the coconuts. So
Right.
they were just all
As
trying.
long as you're on Team Coconut, but like team member 1 from Team Coconut could take all the shots, right?
Yeah, and that's why Coach was mad is because she was using up that time and
Yeah.
missing. She should have just stepped down and let someone else take those shots.
Well, yeah.
But like
Hard thing for an athlete to do is admit they can't do it,
Yeah,
right?
but do you like is it an ego thing? Do you have to be the one that kicked the ass, or do you just want to go on the challenge, man? Like
Or
or
Michaela looks
on
like,
the reward, I should say.
yeah, I don't know.
I would say my answer is yes. I want to be the one. If you're an athlete, especially a sport like football, you want the ball in your hands at all times. The best players always want the ball or the puck or whatever.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, wait. So you know that, right? So if you play on the team and you're playing a game, you know who's hot that game and who to get the puck to, right? Am I right?
Yeah, if you're like a cohesive team, this is Survivor though.
No,
Right.
but I'm just saying you're playing a hockey game and someone else, beside you scored 2 goals and you're like still like, no, I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feed
She
that
showed
player
her
the
spot.
puck. They're hot.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then
well, Michaela wouldn't do that. Is all we're. Michaela would not do that.
yeah.
It
All in
seems.
agreement. And then Cochrane gets yelled at. He's in that challenge because he can't lift the wheelbarrow. He gets yelled at again. So thank goodness they won, because I'm sure there would have been a huge campaign against him.
He would have been getting voted off if they didn't win.
Yeah. But instead, they win and go to their fun water slide thing.
Sliding rocks.
Yeah.
And food.
I love how Cochrane says, I'm not really like a water person. I'm a sparkling water person.
I like that line. Yeah, I'm a sparkling water person. Yeah. He's hilarious. But yeah, takes his sweater vest off and goes down the rocks.
Finally gets to be a human.
Looked really fun.
That did.
It looked painful. I was like feeling that as they were sliding down the rock face.
Yeah, they were rocks, right?
Yeah. I was like, oh, God.
But Jeff also called them like the famous sliding rocks. So I would bet if you're going to slide down rocks, these are the rocks to slide down.
Yeah. I'm sure it wasn't bad.
Oh. They didn't seem to complain about it too much. Keith even hit a little bump and got some air when he went down.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. That was fun.
Uh-huh.
And then back at Opolu,
Oh,
they start trying to figure out who to vote out.
this is where Apolu splits into two tribes.
Yeah.
I know we haven't because I made these pre the Google Docs. How far through the episode are we? Because I've got
I don't know timeline. We're on the last tribe shot before tribal.
Yeah, you don't see Savai again for the rest of the episode. It's just Upolu from here on out. And it's essentially Coach and Brandon say they want Michaela. Albert gets wind of this, wants to save Michaela, and in order to save Michaela, he needs to go for Edna. Coach gets wind of that, and then has to try and save Edna. So it's Michaela or Edna, and it's you got Coach and Brandon on one side, and you have Albert and Rick on the other?
Sophie,
right.
and then Rick is the decider.
Now I get why Albert and Sophie don't like Edna, because Edna is looking to usurp one of them as one of Coach's closest allies. So I get why Sophie and Albert are doing that. I really think Coach is just let Edna go. Let Edna go, Coach. Someone else can walk on her back. You don't need to fight that. When you're on the same side as Brandon trying to choose who to keep, it's really take a assessment of what's going on right now. You're on the wrong side.
Edna's more loyal in the long run. Like if I were Coach, I would keep Edna around.
But Edna is smart. I think. Yeah. Which is exactly why he needs to get rid of her now, because she is not going to be loyal to him. It's like when we were talking about their discussion, right? She's using him to get to the merge. She doesn't care about him. She knows what he can do. She'll turn on him immediately. Get to the merge, pull in her troops, start her real game, and if he's smart, he needs to get rid of her.
Well, at this point, I would assume Edna's just going to turn on everyone at the merge. I think as soon as the merge hits, Edna's going over to Savai. She doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
The only person she seems to not hate is Coach, and I think she doesn't hate Coach for a very specific reason. So I would assume she's going to. So that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Stop.
Wow.
Mom, you're talking to your cat, right?
I am.
And this is where I have a note here where I'm like, OMG, it's a talking head from Rick. This is Rick's talking head where he realizes he's in the middle.
Oh yeah, and he's just upset about it.
Yeah.
Why me?
Why me? I don't know. Make a pick. You can put this on your resume, Rick. Just go for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's all wishy-washy in his talking head. Well, I don't know. Why'd they make me do it? Well, you gotta do something. You gotta do something.
I know.
And then they go to tribal.
Yeah.
And the funny part about tribal, And
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, Jeff knows everything that's going on in that game. He obviously, I don't think they hide editing from him. He knows what's
Yeah.
going on. He knows Rick's the deciding vote, and yet at Tribal doesn't talk to him.
Well, they don't show him.
Yeah, maybe
Oh, okay.
very political, boring answers, and they were like, okay,
Mm,
that's not entertaining TV.
Yeah.
We won't.
right.
Yeah.
First, we talk about the merge
Yeah.
and about what, like, do the tribal lines still stay intact when you go into the merge?
Yeah, like numbers versus loyalty kind of thing.
I mean, hey, Mom, one thing maybe, like, Jeff may not want to affect the swing vote.
Right.
Or be seen to affecting, to affect him, right? Like,
Or
if he knows that guy's the deciding vote, then, like, I mean,
leave
wouldn't
it
that be
alone.
the worst? Well, wouldn't that be the worst thing ever to be, accused of some kind of survivor coup?
I guess I just,
Sure.
at that point, I wanted to hear Rick say something dumb again. Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe he did. Maybe it was a purple edit, right?
Yeah.
So, I have a quick question based on what Jeff was talking about at Tribal. What do you guys think is the most important thing going into merge? Loyalty or numbers?
I guess it depends
Numbers.
what your situation is.
Definitely numbers.
If you have numbers, you definitely want to just keep them.
Yes.
But even if you're like the bottom of an alliance, you just, at least I'm in alliance and we have more numbers, but no one else you don't have the loyalty.
That's kind of what I mean, is it depends like what position you're in. If you're on the top of that alliance, then yeah, you want numbers. If you are on the bottom, then you're looking for some loyal people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Depends on
True.
that alliance.
It's all about perspective.
And can we talk about a little bit how Jeff asks Coach to explain blindsides to Brandon? Coach, can you explain to Brandon why you don't tell the person you're voting them out? Like, can you explain to me why you would, can you explain to Brandon why you do that? And yeah,
I couldn't believe that. And how many outbursts does he have to have in a tribal before they just go, everybody, just write his name down. Let's just write his name down.
For a split second, I saw a couple people look at each other, and I was like, "Are they going to turn on Brandon here? Are they just going to be like, this is the last time he's doing this at tribal? We're getting him gone.
Yeah.
We need this guy gone." I really thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, me too.
Full of people were kind of looking at each other. I was like, oh my god, this might happen. But
Yeah, because he's like, vote me out if this game isn't based on loyalty.
Oh, there it is.
Sitting at a tribal saying, vote me out, and he doesn't get voted out.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Cast some kind of weird magic spell on everyone. I don't get it.
2 castaways this episode have said, just vote me out.
I guess that's true, yeah.
They're still fine.
And they're still there.
You don't think there's times when, because you got to consider they're chilling out there. There's some little weird red fish. There's some sand. There's some bamboo. Some rain, right? Wouldn't you be like, yeah, man, watching someone say this is tribal, watch blow people's minds? I don't know. Come on, man. You got all day to sit around and be like, what am I gonna do and say with myself? What did the kids let me do?
That's the thing is,
because you're coming back from the bathroom, you just had a dookie, no one's looking at you yet, and you're like, okay, all right.
I don't think it kind of
all you've got going on, your entire everything, every second of every minute. There's no break. There's no you're just there, and that's it. And you'd be like,
I've never heard a castaway talk about after filming, how much time they'd spend thinking of anything but the other castaways and how whether or not they were safe and how their relationships were. Anyone good anyway. Anyone that was laying around was usually gone pretty quick. So
yeah,
unless you're focusing all your thoughts on your tribe and keeping your name off of the parchment.
Sure.
So I don't think anyone far into the game is really thinking about how they're projecting themselves. As far maybe Johnny Fairplay, but
Yeah, there you go.
Really?
Yeah.
What? That's completely contradictory to the game. That statement makes no sense to me. You're 100% thinking about how the jury is going to perceive. You're always
no.
thinking about
I
perception.
thought you just meant the talking heads to the audience. I thought you were talking about how they're presenting themselves to the world and like.
Well, yeah, but no, I meant like, well, I meant like comments meant to like tribal council and like,
Oh, okay, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like where, well, I don't know.
It's all a bit of a performance. Whenever you're in a group of like, anytime I think tribal council, I think in my personal opinion, I kind of agree with you, Drew. It's you're on all the time. There's no such thing as 2 minutes to yourself, except for maybe when you have to go into the jungle for number 2.
Yeah.
But even then, I feel like I would still be thinking about that kind of stuff. I don't think my brain would ever shut off. I think I would be constantly worried about every single word coming out of my mouth, unless I lose a challenge or there's emotional moments for sure, but I would be very much constantly in my own head, overthinking everything.
Yeah, that's just how I
me
live
too.
day to day. But
Tribal council performance.
But like,
It's like you're running for president. You're always on. If there's a camera on you, you are trying to sway people. If there's a camera pointing at you,
so
you need to convince people of something.
is there a camera on you all the time when you're there?
Yeah, each survivor has a assigned cameraman.
Okay. So then, when the two of them come together, one of them just goes, "Okay, I'm going to be the close camera person. You're going to be the back camera person."
I've seen read interviews with some of the camera guys, and they're very skilled at not getting each other in shots.
Sure.
So they'll if the two people, like if me and you are camera guys following Mom and Jess around, and they're having a conversation, me and you know to get on opposite sides so we can get everyone's face reaction, so we can get 2 camera angles of the same scene. That's what you would think of as a cinematographer.
No, definitely. I just wonder, like, I don't know, like, is it all? I don't know, because like we never see all of it. You know what I mean?
No.
So it's kind of like
over the course of the season, you only see about 1% of the actual footage with how much they film and how long they're out there and how long the episodes are, and you got to make time for challenges. You only see 1 to 2% of everything.
Yeah, you see like an hour of a 3-day span, right? So
98% of what happens in those 39 days, no one ever gets to see.
This conversation reminded me of what Coach says about Edna and why he wants to keep her. That she would follow, like if you told her to follow Ozzy while he defecates, she would. So
makes sense.
Coach says that about Edna.
Yeah. Forget who he says it to. Rick.
I can't remember who he's talking to.
I think it's Rick.
Oh, could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to get the swing vote out of him.
Right.
Yeah. And she'd wipe his ass for him.
Yeah.
Is what Coach says, which is so offensive, but whatever.
How did that go over my head? That is super offensive.
Yeah. I don't know. I wrote it down. It's when he's trying to convince,
Rick of the swing vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Rick.
And he's trying to say she's loyal. And if you told her to follow Ozzy while he takes the shit, she would, and wipe his ass for him.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's why she needs to do better. Coach sucks.
But the thing is, I like I said before, I don't think Edna would do that. I think she's just gonna gone.
So hold on for a second. Is that what Coach really believes, or is that a view that he's presenting to another player?
I think he believes that.
I think he believes it.
Yeah.
He thinks he has Edna wrapped around his little finger at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Coach is going for loyalty, and he's got Brandon and Edna. They're super loyal, right? Like Albert and Sophie know about the idol Coach has, But if you ask Coach who's most loyal to him, he'd say Brandon and Edna in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick decides to side with Coach's side, and they take out Michaela. The vote goes down pretty much as expected. Just Rick picks that side.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
just
Fair enough.
I know. I don't really care for Michaela either way.
I don't either. I think
think
Rick's next too, though.
Well, could be.
I feel, yeah. I don't
He's a
think
decent floater. I don't think he's a target.
Which
We'll know if beginning of next week's episode you suddenly see a talking head from Rick.
Yeah.
Yes, he's going home.
Yeah.
2 talking heads in a row. There must be something going on.
Yeah.
so wait a minute. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean it sucks, but I mean they won that challenge because of Michaela just saying got to eat all that leftover ham, cold.
Oh yeah, but that was last week. None of that matters now.
So
She didn't
clearly,
get the coconuts.
out of the earlier issue, I'm a loyalty player. Yeah.
All right.
I'm probably a numbers guy. I would just, you really just need one friend. That's all you need. You need one person that's going to have your back. Maybe
One secret friend, and that's how you win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
If you know someone, you don't even have to be secret friend.
Yes,
There's
you
been plenty of. But I feel you need one friend and a big alliance. That's really all you need.
Mm-hmm.
And win a challenge or two, but that's not essential.
All right. Well,
Well,
I think that
good.
covers it.
Any
All
other
right.
final thoughts?
I really hope Brandon goes next week.
I want Ozzy. I want Ozzy to go to Redemption.
Oof. I'm gonna make a bold prediction. So who got sent home? Michaela.
Michaela.
Does anyone have any guesses as Michaela versus Christine?
That's what I was gonna say. Michaela's.
My money's easy on Michaela.
She's got the physical, but like I said, Christine's got that middle-aged woman rage.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Christine.
I don't think she's into the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious now. It'll be pure revenge, essentially.
Yeah.
I think the younger woman coming for her is going to shake Christine as much as I like her. As soon as you mentioned the middle-aged woman rage, I was like, oh yeah, that's going to fuck her up.
I don't know if anyone's beating Christine unless it's like an Ozzy or a.
Name me a time. Any one of you, name me a time in your life where you've experienced rage and you went, wah! And then things got better for you.
That's a good point.
Fair. Yeah, for sure. But so far, Christine is using it.
Wait. What was the answer to that? Was that never?
Never.
Never.
It's never for me as well.
Okay. Okay, well, that'll do it for us.
That's an opinion piece.
You can reach us at Twitter at buffs_survivor or at talkingsurvivor@gmail.com. We'll be back next week with episode 7. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Goodbye, Internet.
All right. Have a great day.